The king of 2010s, like this decade, 2010 all the way to probably 2019, basically 2020 you could say. Basically this decade has the ruler of movies, besides superheroes, has been horror films. Horror films, ever since the first Conjuring, horror movies just were like, hey, let's be really good movies and be like Oscar-winning, Oscar-caliber movies, great, scary horror movies. Ever since The Conjuring, the horror movie genre has changed, and I love that. Annabelle Comes Home. This is the third Annabelle movie. We had Annabelle, then we had Annabelle Creation. This movie was surprisingly good. This movie was shit. But this, do you guys realize we have an official trilogy to a side character in the first Conjuring movie that was probably in the movie for about 10 minutes or so and just had creepy images, and you're like, you know what, we can make a movie out of that. And now we are here today, years later, and saying we are entering the third Annabelle movie, and and it's like the 7th or 6th Conjuring universe movie if you count Curse of La Llorona. But this movie is basically set, the Warrens are in this movie. This is the first time they're in one of our spin-off movies, because they're usually in the Conjuring 1 and 2, but this one they are in this spin-off, and basically they get the Annabelle doll, and we get to see them put in the cabinet, and they are now, it's the doll that brings all the demons to life, brings them to her, and scary crap happens. The Warrens go away, leave her daughter home with a babysitter and her friend, and then all through the night, hauntings happen, and they must survive the night. That's the movie. The whole movie is set in one night, and I did not expect that. It's all set in the Warrens' home. I was like, alright, this is different. Let's see how it goes. And I will say this. It's better than Annabelle 1, it's better than The Nun, and it's better than Curse of La Llorona. So it's like in the middle-ish. I still think Conjuring 1 is the best, second would be Conjuring 2, then Annabelle Creation, and then probably this, because this movie, I say, is a fun watch. You watch it one time and you're done with it. Because this movie, the biggest issue is because there wasn't a lot to do. This movie is a lot of walking down the same hall 3 or 4 times, the sound drowning out, and big jump scares happening, and it felt very repetitive, and that was my biggest issue in this entire movie. It felt like they spent $6 million, like, alright, we're gonna get like 30 million opening weekend, we'll get the money back. It felt like the cheapest Conjuring movie we gotten, but then again, I still had fun with it in a certain way. Okay, let's start with positives. First things first, the acting from all around was really good. The girl who plays the main girl, the Warren's daughter, she was fantastic. And I love her story arc in this movie. She doesn't have friends at school. All of her friends' parents tell her, hey, don't hang out with that girl because that's the daughter of the Warrens, who are real weird people, and we don't want you near them. And it brings this girl to having no friends, which I actually like that story. I was like, that's interesting. That's a good take on this character. Because this is based on true story and true characters and events and stuff like that. If this did happen back then, I totally could see this happening. I mean, if parents would be kind of scared to have their daughters go hang out at this girl's house, I could totally see that. So I really like that story arc in this movie. And they did a good job through the beginning and the very end of how they weave characters in and how decisions of what happens to this character. I like what they did with that. I really did. And I do like how she's kind of taking off her mom, basically. I did like that a lot. I thought the girl who played the babysitter was really good. She's also the girl from Jumanji in the very beginning of the movie. She was really good in this movie. I liked her character. They gave her an asthma thing, which I truly liked. They could have made her that bitchy babysitter that no one liked, but they gave her asthma. They gave her more to do whenever, and I liked that. I really liked that was different. And the side friend who comes, at first, she was a cliche friend who was just there. She's cool. Yeah. Let's go into the house, let's dig through everything, let's see all the secrets. But then they give her a good character, like, decision that she makes, and you're like, this is stupid. But there's a reason behind it, you're like, you know what, I kind of buy it. It's dumb, but I kind of buy it. So the characters in this movie aren't really that worse at all. They're actually good acting and good characters and stuff like that. Now, the boyfriend, he needs to be cut out of this movie. He was useless. He was literally there for comedic humor. And this movie, I mean, it had some chuckles, but he did not need to be in this movie. Like, he did not need to be in this movie at all. He was pointless, and I wish he just... I wish he was gone. But he's in the entire movie, and it's like, dude, just go away. I just don't like him. And like I said, the movie's just very repetitive and going down the same hallways. There's some creepy imagery. There's good sound design. The movie looks good. The directing, I know this guy. This is his first time directing, I'm pretty sure. And for a first-time director, I mean, I've said this in all my Conjuring universe movies. They're all are trying to replicate James Wan and how a camera is moving, all that kind of stuff. They're all trying to replicate that, and it feels so copycat, and no movie has ever stood the ground of their own movie except Annabelle Creation. That felt like a different director. All these other directors doing these other movies are trying to copy the camera, the cinematography, the way James Wan does the first two Conjuring movies. David F. Sandberg did Annabelle Creation, and he did an excellent job. He made that his movie. This movie, the directing, it felt like a copycat, once again, just like Curse of La Llorona. And also, if you're coming to this movie to see the Warrens, they're in it for probably 10 minutes. It is actually sad. I mean, there was actually no point for them to even be in it. I don't know why they were in it. I mean, they were in it obviously because they wanted to bring the Annabelle doll into the room finally. And this movie is full of, hey, let's make this character happen. Let's pop this character in because we want more spin-offs. So this movie did have that kind of problem of like, are you really trying to set up more spin-offs, whatever? Do it in a unique way like the first Conjuring did. I mean, this is why this universe is even made, because the first Conjuring did little hints of this room and showed glimpses, and you're like, hey, we could do like 5 characters, and we're now at our 7th movie in the Conjuring universe, so it's crazy to even think that. I'm gonna give Annabelle Comes Home a solid C. I don't think it's the worst movie. I definitely don't think it's like the best though. I think it's watchable, you're done with it, and when it's over you're like, alright, what's next? Or what's on TV? What's next? It's just you move on with life. It's just a simple little horror film, and by the way, no need to be rated R. At all. I mean, what was the point of this movie being rated R? I mean, there's no really gory or blood scenes at all. They said the F word like one time. I don't know why it was rated R. I really don't. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.